Good morning. NATO defense ministers meet today and tomorrow at a pivotal moment for our security. Over the last weeks, we have seen the most serious escalation of the war since the invasion in February. Russia is mobilizing tens of thousands of new troops. They are trying to illegally annex new Ukrainian lands, and we have seen the indiscriminate strikes against Ukrainian cities. And then, of course, we also have heard the veiled nuclear threats coming from Moscow. All of this makes this the most serious escalation since February. Today we will meet with the Ukrainian Defense Minister, Minister Resnikov, and the message from NATO allies will be that we are steadfast in our support to Ukraine, that we are prepared for a long haul, and that we will support them for as long as it takes. There will be a meeting with Minister Resnikov in the US-led contact group for Ukraine, and also dinner with NATO ministers later on today, where we will address how to ramp up support for Ukraine, and the top priority will be more air defense for Ukraine. We'll also address our deterrence and defense, and also then address how to replenish our stocks, because allies have provided support to Ukraine by reducing NATO stocks of ammunition or weapons. This has been the right thing to do, but of course we need to address how to refill those stocks. And therefore I expect that the ministers will agree to review our guidelines for stocks.
Secretary General, what is NATO's response in case of a Russian nuclear strike anywhere?
NATO is a defensive alliance. NATO is there to prevent conflict, to prevent a war. And therefore we have strengthened our deterrence to send a very clear message to Russia that we are there to protect and defend all allies. We have seen, of course, the speculations about the use of a low-yield nuclear weapon in Ukraine. And we have conveyed clearly to Russia that this will have severe consequences for Russia. Russia knows that the nuclear war cannot be won, must never be fought. And we are, of course, also closely monitoring the Russian nuclear posture. We haven't seen any changes in the nuclear posture of Russia, but we will remain vigilant. We will continue to monitor closely because the nuclear threats, the nuclear rhetoric and the veiled threats from Russia are dangerous and reckless.
So what changed now so that member states are ready to provide air defense, and what does that mean for the follow-up of this member state?
I welcome that NATO allies are providing air defense systems. That is extremely important, and I welcome the recent announcement by Germany and also the delivery of German air defense systems to Ukraine. And I think we all have seen why this is important. The horrific, the indiscriminate attacks against Ukrainian cities, civilian killed, civilian critical infrastructure destroyed, and not least the attacks on the energy system, the energy infrastructure, is serious as we approach winter. So all of this demonstrates the urgent need for more air defense for Ukraine. Allies have provided air defense, but we need even more. We need different types of air defense, short range, long range air defense systems to take ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, drones, different systems for different tasks. And then, of course, Ukraine is a big country, many cities, so we need to scale up to be able to help Ukraine defend even more cities and more territory against horrific Russian attacks against their civilian populations.